Joining us now, NBC News Chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles and MSNBC political analysts, Republican strategist Susan Del Percio and Democratic strategist Basil Smikle. Ryan, let's start with you there. Senators beginning to arrive on the Hill this morning. What are you looking out for today?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Senator John Thune bridges this gap between the hardline conservatives that want to see more cuts in the bill and his moderate members that are concerned that the cuts go too far. The more you take from one end, the more you end up hurting the other end of this very carefully balanced negotiation between the two sides. And then, of course, there is the concern that if the bill changes too much, when it goes back to the House, it could face an uphill battle. Listen to how both leaders are navigating this very, very difficult balancing act that they're attempting to pull off.
It will have to be tracked fairly closely, obviously, with the House bill because they got a fragile majority and struck a very delicate balance in getting it passed in the House in the first place. I think we're on track, I hope at least, to be able to produce something that we can pass through the Senate, send back to the House, have them pass and put on the President's desk by the 4th of July.
So, I've made my recommendation clear that they make as few changes as possible because that makes it easier for us to get it to the President. But we'll have to see how that comes out. So I'll be talking to a lot of senators. I've spoken to many of them individually, and I'll continue to do that this week to emphasize the importance of keeping this moving as quickly as possible.
Now, obviously, senators like to put their own imprint, especially on a big package like this. But it seems pretty clear when you listen to both leaders, Senator John Thune and the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, they understand that the bill cannot be tweaked too much because the timeline is short for them to get this all done before the 4th of July holiday, especially with that debt ceiling looming. This is not something that they want to mess with. And so you're going to see behind the scenes House leaders in close consultation with Senate leaders as they begin to make these tweaks to try and get everyone on board. It will not be an easy task, and especially given the short timeline that they've given themselves to get the whole thing done. Anna.
Ryan, on this Medicaid sticking point, we just heard Senator Johnson saying he would not support Medicaid cuts. Senator Josh Hawley posted last night that President Trump had told him there would be no cuts to Medicaid. Set the record straight on this bill. What's really going on here?
Well, I guess it really depends on your definition of a cut, right, Anna? I mean, fundamentally, they are cutting Medicaid, but it's the form and fashion of those cuts that are up for debate. And what House Republicans have done is that they've created a package which forces able-bodied people to not get their benefits unless they can demonstrate that there's an ability for them to go to work. There's also changes in the eligibility schedule, forcing folks to make sure that they're eligible every 6 months as opposed to a year. So there are ways, and the CBO has identified these ways in which people will fall through the cracks, and there could be millions of people that lose their benefits. But what Republicans have said is that the folks that lose those benefits are perhaps folks that don't deserve to be eligible for the program, and that's how they're rationalizing this process. That is ultimately going to become a debate in the court of public opinion. Democrats argue that these cuts will be devastating, that people will be dramatically impacted by them. Republicans say that they're necessary to balance the budget and to get spending back in line. The outcry from the American people will ultimately decide whether or not those moderate Republicans are going to be comfortable with these cuts as this process moves forward.
So, Susan, what about Trump voters who rely on Medicaid, particularly in rural areas? You know, it's easy to tell somebody no one's going to lose their coverage, no one's going to lose Medicaid. But how can Republicans cut hundreds of billions of dollars from Medicaid and no one loses coverage?
Well, and I don't think that the Republicans will go out with the message that people are going to lose their coverage. They're going to lose it if they don't meet certain qualifications. Now, that's their selling point. And Trump voters say, well, I qualify, I tick all the boxes. And that probably is true until they fall through the cracks, until after 6 months they forget that they had to file paperwork, or the nursing home that their parents are in had to file paperwork. So there it is. But the Republicans' argument about people, able-bodied people working 20 hours a week or doing community service, that is something that's going to resonate with a lot of Republican voters and independent voters. And the thing the Republicans have on their side is that they are going to say, here are the tax cuts. You're going to keep them. They're not disappearing. We're going to make these Medicaid cuts in 2026, so it's not going to happen. Whereas until, kicking the can down the road a little bit. And Democrats are going to have to say what? This is what's going to happen. There's no substantive proof. It hasn't happened yet. Usually that's when they will get elected, after the 2026 cuts happen.
And so, Basil, what about the other spin we're hearing from the White House? That is, it's undocumented immigrants who will lose Medicaid coverage, not Americans. Is that a political winner?
Well, the language is, the rhetoric is a political winner, but it's actually not the case. Let's zoom out a little bit here, because what Republicans are saying is that, yes, they want to make cuts to Medicaid. They will argue that there are cuts being made after the expansion of Medicaid for Obamacare. Here's the interesting thing. You may not like Obamacare, but once you got it, you don't want to lose it. And what Republicans are saying is that they're going to be fewer people eligible for it now that when the reduction in Medicaid takes place, number one. And number two, this is all part of a larger plan to not just cut the funding for the social sort of safety net, but it's also about moving that money in block grants to states so that governors have a lot more freedom to use that money to pay for other things. So there is really no guarantee that people who would have been eligible for these resources before will get them again, even if you're a Republican and you meet sort of all the criteria.
And there's just one thing to add on this that makes this whole process so difficult, is Donald Trump doesn't care if there's debt, if there's not debt. Well, it's not on his agenda. He cares about getting the bill done. At this point, he doesn't even care what's in the bill as long as it includes the tax cuts, which goes to Thune's original argument of having two bills. But Donald Trump is only going to strong arm people into that, because there's nothing he's fighting for in this except for one thing. So he's leaving it out to the Republicans to squabble.
You think it's the tax cuts that he's fighting for?
It's the only thing that he cares about. He doesn't care. We know he said it. I love debt. That's good.
But we also know that the Medicaid thing is something that Republican and Democratic voters alike are concerned about. Yes. And I want to get to Ryan on the Joni Ernst comments that have created such a controversy. She's still doubling down. Maybe you could say she's tripling down on those Friday Medicaid comments from her town hall. What's she saying now, Ryan?
Well, she seems to be indicating, Anna, that she thinks that the crowd didn't understand where she was coming from, where she made this comment that eventually everyone will die in response to criticism that these Medicaid cuts will lead to people dying. And she attempted to try and clean this up by trying to be funny. Take a listen to how she responded.
Do you care to clarify your comments from the town hall last week, Senator? Just to set the record straight.
I'm very compassionate, and you need to listen to the entire conversation.
Do you have any Can you explain your
protect the most vulnerable?
So that wasn't where she attempted to be funny. She posted a video on her social media account afterwards. This was her, again, trying to clean up on this. But she, I think, in many ways, doesn't understand where the outcry is coming from. I don't think anybody in that room didn't understand that she meant that everyone is going to die eventually, but it was the flippant way in which she described it, especially in the context of the fact that millions of Americans could be losing their benefits and their health could be at risk. She wasn't addressing the core issue that exists here. And it really, in many ways, was a gift to Democrats that are attempting to message this bill in a way to demonstrate in their minds that Republicans are callous, that they're not thinking enough about the most vulnerable Americans as they slash through this budget. And it really was the exact wrong message if Republicans hope to try and provide a different perspective that these cuts are actually going to help Medicaid long term.
Susan, it strikes me that this type of a gaffe, if you will, would maybe in the past have people heading for the exits, but it doesn't appear that the Republican Party is worried about this. They act as if it's a non-issue.
Well, they try and act like it's a non-issue. What they also try and do is say, just move beyond this. And they like when they double down, when politicians double down for what the administration likes. And let's not forget, let's go back to Pete Hegseth's nomination. When the confirmation hearing, and Joni Ernst came into a lot of fire saying, oh, well, she may not vote for Hegseth. And right away, MAGA started talking about primary challenges. Mm-hmm. And so she has that in the back of her mind. She does not want to look like she is waffling because she is afraid of a challenge on the right.
She's going to get a challenge now on the left, though, after those comments. She got a new challenger in J.D. Scholten, who is a Democratic state representative. He launched his bid against Ernst for her Senate seat, Basil, saying that her comments were pretty instrumental. Do you think that she's at risk of losing her seat? Could Democrats pick this one up?
Well, I think they can, but I think it's just an overall opportunity for Democrats to point a finger at Republicans writ large, because the comments, as to Ryan's point, were very callous. And in the video that she herself posted, she made the point that she should have disabused the people in the town hall of the notion of the existence of the tooth fairy. Like, who says that?
Yeah,
and why would you say
thing.
like, why would you say that? This is not a moment to be so flip and so condescending to your own constituents. But we've seen that before. Was it during the I forget the senator's name, but he was approached by a constituent in an elevator during the Doge cuts, and made some flip comment to that person, called him a clown. Like, this is what Democrats should be saying about the Republican Party. This is how they feel about you. So I think it's an opportunity for Democrats broadly to be able to challenge anyone, even if they think they're safe. Challenge them anyway.
Ryan Nobles, Susan Del Percio, Basil Smikle, thank you all for the conversation.